I have, God, so many wonderful memories of Ed over the years. He's been outrageous on so many great levels. It was Ed who introduced me to Ozel Tenzin, the first Western leader of one of the five major Buddhist sects who was living up in Ojai at the time. And Ed was in with Trungpa Rinpoche. And he went up to a big conference in Boulder in a sitting thing where you sat for days and meditated. And he comes back home kind of chastised a bit. He goes, I got to tell you what happened. And I go, what happened? What did you do? And he said, we were supposed to sit in this perfect posture and not move. And he said, if you lapsed or moved or this or that, they had these people that would walk through kind of reminders, and they'd hit you with this stick.
That's right, I remember that, yeah.
This lady hit him with the stick for I don't know what time, and he says, in dead silence, he turns around and tells her, you touch me with that fucking stick one more time, I'm gonna break all your fingers. And there's dead silence in this Buddhist meditation. And this person comes, they go, Mr. Moses, Trungpa wishes you to come to the table. He wishes to speak with you. Rinpoche tells him that in this sect of Buddhism, there is this thing called crazy wisdom. And he says, I think, Ed, you are the master of crazy wisdom.
You know, he's just been a beautiful friend to me and father figure. He would loan us clothes when we need them because he was a great shopper, you know. He's like, so he'd always, you know, I still have great shoes and shirts from Ed. Yeah, the great thing about Ed is like of all the hierarchy in LA, and I won't name names, he was the one that had the generosity. If you said, Ed, come see my works, come see, he would come. You'd be in a garage somewhere, you'd be saying, he would always come. He would actually come and see your work, identify with it, articulate what he thought about it, appreciate it. A lot of people wouldn't do that because they were, well, you're not known. It's like that. And Ed, to this day, was just the most generous guy I've ever known. He'd be feisty and tough, and we fought. And, could be a mean motherfucker. And so could I. But he always stayed with you, and appreciated, what you did on a deep, deep level all the time. Never got into his fame to the point where he wouldn't come by a young person's studio. So, favorite period? Yeah, probably his Cubist paintings, I think, were kind of very important to me. The crosshatched, they were just, they resonated, combining those two elements of geometric abstraction and abstract expressionism. They were just, he made it fuse in a way that was just phenomenal.
So I was curious how you approach a fresh canvas.
Be aggressive and hit it, and don't be tentative. Be direct.
Describe Ed Moses's work. I know he has so many different bodies of work, and so some people have a hard time.
Well, I've heard this about Ed, but it all looks to me like not a process of starting here and going to there. It's more of a process of more of a circular process. The people go around and they hit the same spots, and then they make a brilliant invention, which is something that they did 50 years ago. But it comes back differently, manifests in a somewhat different way.
An eagerness to go at something, he's unparalleled. He's not contained by anything he ever did before. Ed is kind of just unrestricted id flowing out there in the world. Ultimately, I think of Ed as a process artist, and the freedom and openness and looseness and sense of adventure of that process. Someone who loves getting up in the morning, having his coffee or his weed or whatever gets him going in the morning, and then just like enjoying the openness of what goes on in the studio. And I don't see him obsessed with the residue of that process, of the work that comes out of it, but the work is like a sign or a symbol of a journey he went on. I actually think he would, at the end of a show, take all the work back and redo it, and he'd be perfectly happy doing it. It's a different way of being an artist.
It's a perceptual idea. As Ed Moses would say, it was like you could look into the phenomenal world. You look behind the curtain into sort of a magic place.
Chance and circumstance with me. Whatever is there is what's happening. My journey is non-journey.
There's a sense of adventure through all of them. It's they're not conservative. They're not in any way traditional. They're not normal. He just surprises you again and again. He's not afraid of ugliness per se. He'll make an ugly painting just to get away from his own skill and virtuosity. He finds it easy to make a beautiful painting, so he pushes the edge sometimes. He gets real whack with it.
I'm conscious of making up a lot of stuff and being embarrassed by it. Why don't you just do it and shut up about it? That's the kind of consciousness I would like to have.
One of the things I like about Ed, there's a lot, but another thing I realize I like is how he doesn't stay put. He's got this kind of nomadic sensibility. You want to keep coming at it from different directions, bringing different things from the past.
Yeah, you want to they look like something really happened. I like it when I like it.
Me too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We're all, in a strange way, an authentic manifestation of a particular time, particularly in art. And people influence each other. It's a kind of a cross-stimulation. So all of us have been close.
Ed's our master. He's our great father. He's our father,
He's just a wonderful soul. We've had so much fun over the years.